And now I'm going to show you the scariest thing that we found in here. When you walk down the second floor landing, we've got this huge mirror at the end of the hallway. Now, it looks like an ordinary mirror, but it's not an ordinary mirror. This is known as a Codex Mirror. It was used by scholars and scientists during the Renaissance. Now, what made these mirrors so special? What they did is they took pure mercury, which is poisonous, by the way, and they smeared it all over the back of the glass, and when you looked into it, instead of seeing your reflection, you saw a kind of image that was inverted, upside down and backwards. So if I held my hand up like this, it would look like this in the mirror. The reason why it was upside down and backwards was because light was traveling in one direction and then bouncing off the mirror, and then traveling again to your eye. So there were two reflections going on here, so it kind of mixed things up. But here's the really cool part. It wasn't just a simple mirror. At certain angles, you could see yourself in the mirror, but at other angles, you couldn't. And when you couldn't see yourself, what you actually saw was the scholar or scientist who had placed the mercury on the back of the glass. And they were able to do that by putting little dots of mercury on the glass at specific points. By doing this, they created a coded message. So let's say you were a scholar, right? You put some dots of mercury here, here, and here. Then when you walked away and you looked at the mirror from different angles, you would see the design that you had left on the glass. Only you would know what those designs meant. So this was a great way of hiding secret messages or important ideas that you didn't want anyone else to see. These mirrors are super rare today. There's only about 4 of them left in the world. And this one happens to be in our house. Isn't that amazing? Now, I don't know what's written in here. It would take a team of scientists to actually analyze it and work out what's going on here. But the fact that something this big and this old is sitting in our house, it's pretty mind-blowing. It's also interesting because the mirror is positioned above a fireplace. Now, back in the day, mirrors were believed to absorb heat. So, by placing a mirror above the fireplace, they were able to get more heat from the fire, and it would bounce off the mirror and spread around the room. What I love about this mirror is that it looks like an ordinary mirror. No one would ever know that there's anything strange going on. But then, when you catch your own reflection at a certain angle, it reminds you that there's always more to things than meets the eye. I wonder who placed the mercury on the back of this mirror. Was it one of the original owners of the house? Did they have secret messages they were passing on? And what were those messages? These are the kinds of questions that keep me up at night. As I stand here looking into the mirror, it's hard to believe that there are other dimensions, other realities that exist just outside of our perception. Yet science tells us that everything we see is made up of energy vibrating at different frequencies. Perhaps what we see is just a small part of what actually exists. Maybe there are other vibrations, other dimensions that we simply can't detect with our current technology. One theory suggests that our universe functions like a hologram. Just as a hologram can contain more information than is visible to the naked eye, our reality may also have hidden depths. What we perceive could be just the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. Behind the scenes, there might be an entirely different story unfolding. But how can we possibly begin to understand something we can't see? Scientists are working on new ways to detect changes in the energy around us, hoping to find signs of these hidden dimensions. They're searching for anomalies in the cosmic microwave background radiation, the afterglow of the Big Bang. If they find these anomalies, it could be evidence of other universes, other realities, other dimensions. The idea that our universe is a hologram isn't all that far-fetched. In 2018, scientists at the University of Vienna actually managed to recreate the cosmic microwave background radiation in a laboratory setting. By manipulating quantum entanglement, they created a simulation that matched the characteristics of the radiation we see from distant galaxies. This was a huge breakthrough, because it provided strong evidence that our universe began in a highly entangled state. But what does all this mean? Well, it means that our universe is full of surprises. We've only just begun to scratch the surface of what's out there, and who knows what we might find next. Maybe one day we'll discover that the Codex Mirror isn't just a mirror at all. Maybe it's a portal to another dimension, another reality. The possibilities are endless, and it's up to us to keep exploring and discovering what's out there. But for now, we can marvel at the mystery of the Codex Mirror and wonder what secrets it holds. Who knows? Maybe it's just a mirror, but maybe it's so much more. You know, I sometimes forget that I'm actually living inside of a video game. When I look around the room, I don't see any polygons or pixels. Everything looks real, it looks solid, but I know that if I could zoom out far enough, if I could somehow rise above the third dimension, I would see that I'm actually living inside of a computer-generated world. In a way, it's similar to the experience of someone who's trapped in the Matrix. They're surrounded by other people, but no one else seems to realize that they're in a computer-generated world. They're the only one who knows the truth. When I think about this, it makes me wonder if there are other people who are stuck in different matrices, different realities. Are they walking around right now, thinking that they're the only ones who are awake? Are they the only ones who know the truth? Maybe the reason why we're here right now is to help wake up those who are still asleep. Maybe that's our purpose, our mission while we're living in this video game. Have you ever felt like you were the only one who was awake in a world full of sleepers? Have you ever felt like you were trapped in a nightmare that you couldn't wake up from? If you're feeling this way, know that you're not alone. There are others who have experienced similar feelings, and in some cases, it's because they were actually trapped in a nightmare. There have been many reports of people who have been trapped in their own nightmares, unable to escape until they were literally shaken awake by someone else. These people weren't dreaming normally. They were experiencing a form of sleep paralysis, where their minds were stuck in a nightmare scenario, and their bodies were unable to move until they woke up. This can happen to anyone, and it often occurs when people are going through stressful situations in their lives. The nightmare becomes a manifestation of their fears and anxieties, and they feel helpless to escape until they're brought back to reality by someone else. So if you're feeling like you're trapped in a nightmare right now, know that it's okay to ask for help. Reach out to someone you trust and tell them what you're going through. They can help you wake up and bring you back to reality where you can feel safe and secure again. Also, remember that you're not alone in this. Many people have gone through similar experiences and come out stronger on the other side. With the right support, you can too. So, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't give up hope. You will make it through this.